Good afternoon, friends, followers and channel members. Welcome to another live stream flight, another real ops flight, another real world flight, and we have got the Easter livery back. It is the week before Easter, so really happy to bring this back. And now, funnily enough, obviously we've not flown this for a year. I'm really hoping that it behaves, because the simulator has changed so much in the last 12 months, so I'm just hoping that everything continues to work well and the delivery is not going to cause us any major issues. But this is our stunning Easter livery that I think we flew maybe for the first time. Did we fly to Easter Island? I seem to remember a trip to Easter Island last year, which was incredibly long, and there's all sorts of real ops complications with that, which we completely ignored because you're only allowed to have one person flying there at a time, one aircraft flying there at a time, as I remember, because it was the most remote airport on the planet. So if something went wrong and you needed to turn around, well, if another aircraft was there and had an issue and for some reason got stranded on the runway, then the other aircraft behind it would have nowhere to go and would run out of fuel over the Pacific somewhere. Anyway, that was last year. This is much nicer. We're off to Crete. Operational flight plan is in the chat pinned if you're watching on YouTube. Welcome to our Twitch viewers as well. So it's a long flight. This is the longest stream as well that I will have done for a long time. The flight time is just over 2.5 hours, so we have got all Monday afternoon to get going, sit back, enjoy and relax in this live stream. Now I've just realised that the tablet had been nicked once again by the kids. It's the school holidays as well, so I can't think of a better reason for wanting to get away to somewhere like Crete, where it should hopefully be nice and warm and sunny when we get there. A quick look through the flight plan says that the weather should be amazing all the way down there, so we're going to have some wonderful views. So let's welcome you guys on board. Hey Nick, I think you're flying with us today, aren't you, Nick? I believe. 707 Dan, hello. Chris, Wally, Mark, Sexme, Dr. Magic, hello, and oh, Dr. Magic, you're gonna have to come up with something better for the next 2.5 hours. And Simon and Guido, hello. Hey Mark, hope you're well. Let's get on board. Howling Crazy, good afternoon. And the Chop Music on Twitch, thank you so much for the follow. Let's go ahead and get rid of the overhead text. Flight will, of course, be indeed boarding soon. But let's go ahead and jump on in. So, aircraft is in its turnaround state. We've got our operational flight plan, as I say, already pinned in. Our APU is up and running, as we've used the turnaround state function of the flypad to set the flight up today. So let's have a look. Here we go. We've got nothing concerning with the shear rate. We've got quite a low payload today, only 11.5 tons. Flight level 290, that gets a little bit higher a little bit later on. Look at the call sign. Oh my god, this call sign. What sadist came up with this one? Top Swiss 86 cubic kilo. I can't say that. How many syllables does that have? Top Swiss 8 cubic kilo. I mean, that's a 7-syllable call sign. That's awful. Jacob, this is the experimental version. Cruise temperature -44. Wind. We've got a tailwind of 50. That's going to help us get down there nice and straightforward, isn't it? Now, we're off to the Greek Isles. There's things like turbulence, potential gusts and wind shear, etc. coming down. But actually today the weather is looking really rather nice. So already been through the flight plan, and I can't see any reason why 8 tons wouldn't be acceptable. So we're going to go ahead and grab 8 tons of fuel from the ground crew. Given that it is such a long flight, I am perhaps going through things a little quicker than normal. But I mean, if anyone really wants me to, I can go through the operational flight plan and kind of validate why I've taken 8 tons of fuel for this. But that's now loading. That's going to take around 6 minutes. So if we just come up and have the overhead, you can see fuel pumps are off, etc. APU, as I said, was currently running. We're all good. Seatbelt signs are off as well whilst refueling. But with the APU running, we can probably go in and tell our self-loading cargo that we can go ahead and start to bring the passengers on board. I thought we'd have quite a happy sounding soundtrack as well for the flight today. It is a holiday. One thing I will change, just make sure we're squawking 2000 down here on the transponder. Other than that, everything else is where it should be. Our initial climb out today is going to be 7000. And get the constraints on. Let's just go ahead and grab that weather. We're showing 1015. We'll make sure that's not changed. QNH is currently indeed 1015. Where's my pen gone? 1015. That's good. So nice light winds as well. 130 at 5 knots. Okay, 17 degrees here in Basel at the moment. Jacob, can you have the APU running when refueling in real life? Yes, yes you can. Spitfire RAF 100. Good afternoon to you. Right, so let's now come down and set up the box down here. I just need to grab the information in from SimBrief, so quick init press, init data request, there we go. 2 hours 35 minutes, that flight time today. And we're just loading the weights in for the passengers so the aircraft is loaded. Tom, thank you so much as well for the follow on Twitch. Right. So, data page, let's check. IRS, we've got 3 nav green. Aircraft status is LEAP engines, valid AIRAX cycle. Now, init A, let's do the init request. Razzle Music, good morning from the US. Glad you have something nice to tune into at work. Well, that's the thing, is it? So many of us working now. If I can perhaps help you out whilst you are at work, and you've got a good 3 hours of me, if you can stomach us that long. A good 3 hours of stream to enjoy as we head down to Crete. Right, let me load this flight plan in there. So the alternate is, of course, Athens, Elgav. Easy one for me to remember. The call sign, Top Swiss 86 Quebec Kilo. Damn you. Right, our initial cruise flight level is going to be 290. We're going to increase that to 390 a little bit later on. The tropo is 38490, so we'll just update that. What was the temperature? That's minus 44, so we'll go in and update that as well. Right, the flight plan has us departing out on runway 15 on the Alban 7 Yankee. Get that in. Just check no discontinuities or anything like that. That looks fine. And let's check out the arrival, which is going to be the RNAV 27 to Apollo 1 Alpha arrival. Now let me just bring up the charts and check what the initial approach fix is for us. I believe it's going to be is it Gonzo for us today? Yes, Gonzo. (1,120 miles, 1,118 miles. Excellent. I like it when there's a very small discrepancy. Actually, I prefer no discrepancy at all, but 2 miles is nothing. Right. Let's continue the setup. Apologies if I'm not monitoring the chat too much whilst we get this setup done, but given the flight time, we've got loads of time to chat today. RadNav page here in Basel, 11745, the Bravo Lima Mike. Let's get that in. I can also pop in the Bravo November NDB as well. This is, of course, just for situational awareness in case things go wrong for some reason. 353, yeah, that's the one. And I'm also going to pop in our engine out information in, which is Altic holding point, ALTIK. Inbound track for the hold is 092, reciprocal 272. Right. And to the init B page. So our zero fuel weight today is 53.9. Trip wind is a tailwind of 50. And plan fuel says 7.5 and we're taking 8. Let's just confirm. Oh, we're still refueling, but we are going to be taking 8 tons. That gives us take-off weight then as 61.7. For performance, we can round that up to 62. Fuel for our alternate is 1.5 tons. And that gives us an extra 7 minutes of flight time. That doesn't seem too much, does it? Should we get a bit of extra fuel in? Because anything can happen down in the Greek Isles. We may have some cumulonimbus build-ups or anything. Go on, do you know what? Well, let's tell the refuels. Can we throw a little bit more fuel in, please? So we're going to go with 8.5 tons of fuel. Which means let's just edit this. An extra 24 minutes flight time. That's fine. Our takeoff weight is now changed to 62.2. Right. Let's go on to our performance page. Let's bring SimSmart up. We just change the view angle here a little bit so you can see that. CB, we've not got multiplayer on. We're on VATSIM, so yeah. Live spec, what's the difference between the call sign and the flight number? So the flight number is what you guys look for in the airport on the boards. That's the flight number that the passengers use. The call sign is what air traffic control uses. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not. So, where are we? Lima, Fox, Sierra, Bravo. Let it find the data. There we go. Basel, departing runway 15. Current METAR is now 1014 apparently. So let's just go ahead and change that. Right, new QNH. It is dry. Anti-ice is going to be off. Our takeoff weight is 62.2. Let's go 62. We'll go 62.4. Always better to maybe just add a couple of hundred kilograms. You're more conservative that way. CFG is forward. Flex config 1. Pack's a little bit off. And calculate. It's a nice long runway as well. So we have then for this, we're not limited by any maximum takeoff weight. It's going to be config 1 flex 68. V1 146, VR 146, and V2 147. Numbers all very close together because it's a nice long runway. Green dot is 210, funnily enough. The aircraft also says 210, so it's nice to see they match up. Thrust reduction is 1864. This is just 1 foot out because this one's not got real world data in just yet. But to be honest, 1 foot is nothing in the grand scheme of things. It would be rounded up anyway to 1870. So let's type that in 1870. 1870. Engine out acceleration is the same. There we go. Engine out acceleration should update any second. There it is. Christian, hey mate, did I manage to sort out delivery? Oh yes, we are Easter all the way. Hello everyone that's just come into the chat. Good afternoon to you guys. Razvan, you got to meet in about an hour and a half. But if I fly slow, well, the flight time's 2.5 hours, so it's going to be it's going to take a while. Yeah, don't worry about that. Hey, Christian. So yeah, we've managed to convert delivery. We're just hoping it holds out. Colin Evans, hello. Right. So with all that done, let's go ahead and do our. Oh, are the passengers about ready to? Are they all on board? There wasn't that many today, actually, was there? Okay. So, weather here in Basel is beautiful. Nice long runway to get back into as well if anything goes wrong. So, no concerns over the weather. It's VMC, which is good because there is quite a bit of terrain around us as well, which I'll come to in a moment. Our takeoff weight is going to be 62.2. That's below the maximum landing weight, so don't need to worry about that. The aircraft is the experimental version, newly updated experimental version as well, updated just before the flight today, so hopefully we'll not find any bugs as we fly along. No NOTAMs for us today. Threats at this airport. We've got terrain to the south of the airfield. So let's just have a quick look at the chart so you can see that. Yeah, so we've got some terrain to the south, a little bit of terrain as well to the east. So that's probably our biggest threat, the terrain around us. Let's talk through the taxi, pushback, etc. So we are at stand 30 Alpha, which is up here. We're going to push back, and funnily enough, we push back and go this way. We don't just push back and go straight out. So we're going to push back, taking November 1, and from November 1 we can then take it's Bravo, isn't it, all the way up. Now, we could actually, do you know, I keep forgetting about this, the intersection departure. Could we take hotel? It would just about, we could even take golf. We're not that heavy today. We could probably take golf. Let's have a look what the takeoff run is from golf, if that is an option. Oh, it's not. We can only take hotel, which is 3,000 meters. Well, all right, that's not a bad idea. So, hotel 3,000 meters. Come back, SimSmart. And oh, I've just updated, so I'm going to have to reset this. I need to get this. We need to fix this. Every time you update it, it resets your settings. So let me just reset that, and we'll just open that back up again. Departing from hotel. Bring that back in a second for you. It just means it's a slightly shorter taxi, which is always good. So, Lima Fox Bravo Sierra, no, Sierra Bravo. And 15, dry, off, takeoff weight 62.4, forward, flex, config 1, and the intersection 300, and calculate. Okay, let's just go and change some of those. Flex is still the same. V speeds have changed though, so it's now 139. Obviously lower because we've got less runway to stop on if things have go wrong. So 139, 139, and 141. There we go, but flex is still 68. Excellent, so we are going to taxi out then via November 1, then Bravo, and we'll stop at hotel. That's where we're going to depart from. The instrument departure is the Auburn 7 Yankee, which is basically just straight out. Let's just check the flight plan matches up. So we are straight out on the 7 Yankee. 8 miles from threshold gets us to Sierra Bravo 616 and Auburn. Straightforward departure, no speed restrictions either. Nice. So, let's just run through the emergency brief. Standard Airbus emergency brief then here. It's a non-standard engine out procedure. So, if anything goes wrong after V1, if we lose an engine once we're airborne, it's going to be a right-hand turn at 7 miles from the Bravo Lima Mike to the Altic holding point, which if I zoom out we should have shown. There it is, just here. So yeah, a right turn to the Altic holding point, and we can see the inbound course as well, shown on there. Initial climb on this departure is 7,000, and the transition altitude is also 7,000. Right then, let's see, how are we doing passengers? I think all the passengers are now done, aren't they? And they're all on board. Loving the orange tint as well in this Easter livery. It's nice when we get to roll out a special livery for a time.
Hi Gavin, all the passengers are on board and we're ready to go. I'll bring you a cup of tea after we've taken off.
That's great, thank you.
Sounds like we've got good cabin crew today. External power can come off, APU is running, seatbelt signs on as well. I will just check that 8.5 tons of fuel is all done, loaded and balanced, and all systems are normal. Fantastic. So, cockpit preparation is completed, our signs are on and auto. It is 3.5 green, fuel quantity is 8,500 kilograms balanced, FMGS is set, altimeter is 1014. So we'll bring the ground crew into position. Turn the fly pad off for the moment. Oh, actually, I don't know if I've actually got any ground crew in this position, strangely enough, which is a bit of a shame. I think that means we might not even be able to pre-plan our pushback. Let's find out. I don't know if we can or not. Let's see. Interesting pushback as well, this one. So we're going to push back and apparently almost appear to face the wrong way. There we are.
Cabin crew, we're all ready to go. You've answered all the cross checks, thank you.
Right, let's call the ground crew. Just check, have we got any air traffic control? No, no air traffic control. So we should be fine. Okay. Now, because we don't have any physical ground crew, I'm wondering if this will work. If not, I've got other means at my disposal to get us pushed back. But let's announce on VATSIM what we're doing, shall we? Basel traffic, top Swiss 86 Quebec Kilo, pushing back from stand 30 Alpha, and we'll then be taxiing round on November 1. So there's our taxi clearance. We'll get the beacon light on. IQ pressure is not in the green. It's not in the green because we've not had the cargo door open. Let's just quickly pressurise that. Whilst I'm waiting for that, we'll get the transponder turned on. Nose wheel steering is disconnected. IQ pressure is now in the green. Get the yellow electric pump off. Okay, and let's release the parking brake. Now, will we go? That's the thing, and done. Fantastic. Right, let's get the engine started. So, engine mode selected to start, and starting engine 1. Let's hope they push us back correctly. Oscar, this is just Sims, Basel. Or is it FS Dream Team? Might be FS Dream Team. Thank you, Christian.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket, showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and brace position that you must adopt if you hear brace, brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear, 4 in the middle.
Easy
and
162,
2 at the
gate
front.
5, pushback and start facing north.
Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times. If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the oxygen. Put the mask over your nose and mouth. Hold in place with the strap. Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask
Starting engine
before
2.
helping others. If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the toggle. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open, and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight with EasyJet.
Okay, so I'm just waiting for engine 2 to stabilise. Live spec on Twitch. No overclocking. I'm not technically minded. I don't know how to do anything like that. In fact, this is just Sims. I'm almost certain, Christian, this is just Sims Basel Airport. Right, let's set the parking brake, because the ground crew haven't asked us to set the parking brake. They've just released the gear pin. And we started rolling forward. Don't know if anybody spotted that just there. Much better when you've actually got physical tug. The pushback mod seems to work much better. Right, so engine 2 is now stabilised. Let's go ahead and do our after start flows. So engine mode selector to normal. Gorgeous weather today. APU bleed is off, anti-ice not required, APU master can come off. And on the spoilers, rudder 0, flaps 1, and the trim. There we go. So after start checklist, anti-ice is off, our ecam status is checked. Pitch trim is 24.3 and rudder set 0. Christian, the landing gear lever is indeed up. That is strange. Why is that? Let's put... Please go down. Friday night quiz question for you. Prior to... in fact, the fact that that was up there, would that matter? Or would a pilot on the ground actually be able to physically lift that landing gear lever up? Right. Was it Martin that noticed? Martin, good spot, my friend. Right, let's do our flight control check. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Full up. Full down. Neutral rudder. Full right rudder. Full left. And neutral. Basel traffic, top Swiss 86 Quebec Kilo is taxiing now via November 3, November 1 Bravo, holding short of Hotel Runway 15.
That's traffic, ED 464, he's taxiing via Mike 2 and Bravo.
Christian says this is what happens when you don't do the prelim checks. Funnily enough, did those before we started, and I'm pretty certain we'd have clocked that, but the hardware had the landing gear up, and as I then went to start playing with the hardware, doing the setups and things, I think it obviously sends a trigger, so he would have put it up and I wouldn't have noticed. So we're following the blue line here. Once we get on the nice straight taxiway Bravo, we'll then get ourselves ready. Anyway, let's do our PEDS checks. So, no change to the performance. QNH 1014 is going to be a flex takeoff. Engine out procedure is non-standard. Right turn at 7 miles from the Bravo Lima Mike to the Altic holding point. Departure is the Auburn 7 Yankee, and stop climb is 7,000. So we're taking the second right. Our company aircraft friend there looks stationary, so we'll jump ahead. In fact, is that Nick? Yeah, we're cutting in front of him. Howling Crazy on Twitch. This is Just Sims Basel Airport.
Easy 162 taxiing to runway 15 via taxiway Sierra Bravo.
Right, let's get the wind shear and weather on, and let's do our before takeoff checklist. So flight controls have been checked, departure briefing is confirmed, flap setting config 1, FMA and takeoff data 139 blue, 141 magenta, climbing up blue, 1 FD2, and 7000 blue, flex 68. Transponder is set, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, EFB is stowed.
Cabin crew, if you could take a seat for takeoff.
So I'm just looking at the chart. Is this Golf? I think this is Golf. Someone needs to cut the grass. I can't read the blooming sign. What good's that? I don't know. Can't get the staff. Now, I don't want to tempt fate or anything, but I'm pretty certain the last time I did a takeoff from here, we had a crash to desktop and there was a tree in the middle of the runway. Just saying. Do you know what? I know this is hotel because that is exactly where the chart tells me the windsock should be. Oh, look at that. What an absolutely gorgeous day. That is a gorgeous day that we're going to be departing from today. Honestly, the grass needs cutting. Oh, look at that. And we put 3,000 meters in, and that is, there's a sign there telling us that's the intersection departure runway length. Fantastic. Okay, so I haven't heard any air traffic control over the radio, so our approach path looks clear as well. Let's go ahead and line ourselves up. Basel traffic, top Swiss X6 Quebec Kilo is lining up runway 15, departing on the Auburn 7 Yankee. That call sign is doing my nutting already, and I've only called it twice. Let's get the lights on. Packs can come off. And TCAS. Before takeoff, checklist below the line. Cabin is secured. Engine mode selector is normal. TCAS TARA, packs off, anti-ice off. Last week, this is a real-world call sign for the for this because this is a real-world flight. This is the real-world call sign for this flight. So I've not picked it, so to speak. Whoever did pick this, they must have been having a bad day in the office. We're rolling forward rather freely because we're not heavy at all today. Few scenery jitters. And because of those scenery jitters, I'm just going to turn those displays off as well. Right, engines have been running for a good old 8 minutes, so we're fine with that. Let's go. Takeoff. Start the chrono. 50% N1. Engine stable, set takeoff thrust. Man flex, SRS, runway. I think I can see a tree in the taxiway. Just hold on, everybody.
Traffic, EC464, lining up runway 15.
100 knots.
Checked. Ew, this isn't good and realistic, is it? V1, rotate. Nav.
Positive rate for gear up.
Traffic, EC464.
Autopilot 1 engaged. And we'll reduce thrust in a second. And set climb thrust. Thrust climb. Climb. No ATC. Let's select flight level 290 in open climb. Pull standard. Open climb 290 blue. What a glorious day. Christian, it wasn't a tree in Geneva, it was a pylon, but we got rid of that. Passing S speed. Okay, flap 0 and disarm the spoilers. And as we briefed, we have the terrain now coming in quite quickly. So this departure keeps us on a nice profile, obviously away from it, and on a clear day like today, we get to enjoy it. Have we not put the packs back on?
Basel traffic, EC464 is taking off from runway 15.
Look at that orange wing. ID bands too. We do have Rex AccuSeasons installed. Not sure that's responsible for the tree though. Cabin crew are released.
Basel traffic, EC162, lining up for departure on runway 15.
Gorgeous departure on a day like today, this, isn't it? I don't think we've ever flown out of Basel and done a straight out on runway 15. We've always turned around and headed north. So this is something quite different today.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelt fastened while the seatbelt sign is on. We recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you are seated. Toilets are located at each end of the cabin. Remember that smoking is not permitted at any time.
Okay, we're now passing 10,000 feet. Get those lights off. We'll go and clear out the radnav, check out the performance. Flight level 290 shouldn't be any issue. Yeah, there we go. 290 is fine. Just clear out that radnav page. And also clear the fixes page.
Basel traffic, EC162, departing runway 15.
And if you guys haven't seen our special Easter livery, it's back for a couple of weeks. Doesn't she look good? Really like this. Thank you, Christian. And to the new followers on Twitch as well, guys, thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. Don't expect my aircraft to be this orange all of the time. It's a special occasion. Now, as part of our pre-flight briefing, one of the things to bring into our awareness today would be the fact that from around 12 minutes in to 50, 52, 53, 54, 55 minutes in, so probably for a good 40 minutes or so, we are going to be flying over the Alps, where obviously the minimum safe altitude is is above 10,000 feet. So if anything went wrong, we'd need to be able to sort ourselves out. Why is the strobe light off? I think we're happy to release the passengers as well in a sec. Keep an eye on that temperature. There are a few clouds. I've just seen Christian say the strobe lights are off. Yeah, chat delay. Not quite sure why those was off. Did I just have a moment at 10,000 feet and go click happy? I may have done. If anyone wants to know the specs of the PC, you can call up the Nightbot. We'll help you with that. Mr. Dino 2000 says, wow, that livery must be expensive in real life. Do you know what? I absolutely prefer this to Condor's. Condor's latest livery. Well, it's done its job. We've not stopped talking about it. Definitely noticing quite a few pauses and freezes in the sim today. Not quite sure why. Nick, is there an update for the airport? Oh, that's what the problem will be. Sunny Boy, thanks for the follow. Christian, you thought the Condor livery was an April Fool's joke. Well, what day did they announce it? Surely it couldn't have been April 1st. Garrison, no fly pad. We had it on at the start, obviously. I just turn it off because it can degrade performance, I think, over time. Christian, you think Condor looks like a lighthouse? They're doing it in 3 colours, aren't they? Green, is it green, red and yellow? Or was it green, blue and yellow? Or there might be 4 colours, there might be red in there as well. snow-covered Alps still for us on this flight. Quite a lot of it as well. So our flight time is around 2 hours 35 minutes, and initially we're going to be flying flight level 290. Now with no ATC around, so do you know what, I am going to clear us up higher to flight level 39. Just check the progress page, make sure that's okay. Yeah, that's going to be fine. So let's go ahead and edit that. We're going to fly flight level 390. So let's go through. Select flight level 390 blue. Christian, you think the standard Condor livery looks good? Well, do you know what? The first thing I thought when I heard that they were changing the livery was, oh, that's it. Thomas Cook is well and truly dead. For those of you familiar with Thomas Cook. Is that an airport down there? I think it is, you know. Mr. Dino, developing SimSmart for the 330. Oh, I wish we could. It's getting the data for it. Not an easy task. Crazy Dude on Twitch, thanks for the follow. Is that Geneva down there? No, it was Lima Sierra Zulu Charlie. Wherever that was. Geneva's quite easy to spot because of Lake Geneva. It's very distinctive in its layout. We're probably going to get a few bumps and chops as we fly over the Alps. Nick, the Condor aircraft is marketing genius. Everyone's talking about it. Well, this is true. It has indeed done its job. Let's be honest. Unless you were familiar with the airline before, would you have known who Condor were? If not, you do now. Velox, am I going to buy the PMDG 737? Honestly, I get asked that so many times, and I really don't know. It's not an aircraft I can say I can hop in and know how to fly. Curtis, do I plan on doing an A330 flight with the new update? I do, yes, because I think it deserves to be done. India Virtual, hello, good afternoon to you. Or good evening, I guess, if you're in India. Velox, surely I need to buy the 777 when that comes. Oh, really? A good I tell you what, I am actually really looking forward to, as well as the Phoenix, of course, but I'm really looking forward to the A330 by Aerosoft. Now, it's not going to be study level, I'm sure of that, but I bet it's going to do everything that the FlyByWire does. Christian, you need to get something to eat. You wanted to head through the McDonald's drive-in on your way back home, but it was closed. The McDonald's drive-thru was closed? Never. When does that happen? So here we go. Bit bumpy. So we're just popping DGAD in on the fixers page. I'll show you why in a moment. Okay, so this line dissects the highest points of the Alps. If we have a decompression or something wrong whilst we are at this side of the line, then we turn ourselves back around rather than carrying on. If we have something go wrong once we are this side of the line, we carry on and get into Milan or Linate or Malpensa, which I don't think you'd be able to see, but it's down there basically somewhere. Top Gun, is anyone working on a study level A350? Not sure. Hey Arthur, hope you're well. Sean Nessie, is this a different livery that we're fashioning to? Oh yeah, have you not seen it? Hang on. This is our Easter livery, which obviously we only bring out once every 52 weeks. Great work by channel member Christian. Gorgeous, isn't it? Snips, thank you for the follow or the sub. It is our Easter special. Cold enough not to need anti-ice. My office was cold today. It's dropping very cold overnight here in the UK at the moment. Dr. Magic, I did mention new standard operation procedures. Tell you more. Well, I don't know them yet. I haven't got them. They're going to be introduced in phases. That's all I know. So we're not going to have to do everything brand new at once, which is good, considering they're all done from memory. I think one of the big things I remember reading, though, is that the new updated checklist will do away with below the line and above the line. There'll be no lines. It'll be everything in stages. Mr. Dino, if I'm going to do an A330 flight, you're guessing I wouldn't do it with EasyJet? Oh god, no. No, if I'm doing an A330 flight, what I would like to do is a real world one. We like to be realistic on this channel. I expect those are some very orange wings. It's a very orange aircraft. India Virtual, you shifted to Microsoft Flight Simulator with the FlyByWire A320 because of our videos. Oh, okay. Otherwise, you're an FS Labs fan, but the FlyByWire is amazing freeware. Well, India, you're going to be even happier when the Phoenix gets released, because that really is another level, even above FS Labs for its realism. Curtis, do I think we'll see the fly-by-wire by A380 by the end of the year? Who knows? Who knows? Right, a couple of thousand feet to go, then we're at the top of our climb. And we'll be there in around 2 hours and 15 minutes. Told you it was a nice long flight today. I'm away next week, you see, so I want to try and give you guys as much to watch this week as possible. So even if you can't watch it live now, you've still got something to come back and revisit next week. Christian, it's the official EasyJet orange. How did you do that? Go and scrape some of their paint off. Just the bright orange mask around the windshield. Thoughts on there being a fly-by-wire A350? I doubt it very much. Christian, you chose it because it was a better background contrast to all the other things. Yeah, well, it makes sense. It looks stunning. We love this livery. I think it's amazing. Says me, am I going anywhere nice? We're off to Crete. which I can't recall if we've landed at before, so that'll be nice. Not a normal approach either, no ILS, it's going to be our nav. Let's see if I can remember to get down to platform altitude this time, shall we? Jonathan, this flight gives us plenty of time for that in-flight movie. Yes, indeed. AP Travels, you should do a flight to Tenerife South. It's a flight you did recently and they had a medical emergency. Do you mean in real life? Ooh. I mean, the flight over to the Canaries, you don't really want anything going wrong because it's a pain. Not that many different places you can stuff up at, is there? Depending on where you are, of course. Once you've left the coastline of Lisbon, well, that's pretty much it. So you can look down here and know where we are. So we've got Milan around 40, 45, 50 miles to the south of us. And now we're atop sort of the point of no return with regards to if anything went wrong with a decompression or anything. We would carry straight on, and you can see the terrain dropping away. If I just jump up a little bit there, you can see the terrain dropping away. So if we had nice conditions like this, VMC, if we had a decompression, well, we'd be heading over here somewhere so we can get down to 10,000 feet. I'll have to expect you do have Morocco next to the Canaries, but it's still... Well, exactly, yeah, if you're over the Atlantic at that point, particularly depending on the routing. Right, here we go. We are now at Alt Cruise. And we're at the top of our climb. Next waypoint is 225 miles away. Let's just do a quick fuel check then. So at Rizia, we've just passed Rizia. What fuel did we end up taking? We took 5.5 tons. We took around 1.2 tons extra. So at Rizia, let's see. We should have had about 7 tons of fuel. Oh, look at that. We've now just coming up on 7 tons of fuel, so our fuel burn is spot on. Shognesi, you might do Malta. Malta's a good shout. What I would say is if you have never done the airport Malta before, then why not land at it? Something exciting to fly towards. Steve, do I find the screens of the FlyByWire a bit dark? Sometimes, yeah. It depends on the lighting outside, which I actually quite like. I think Microsoft Flight Simulator does a good job of, if you've got the sun straight in your eyes and then you look down here, it just takes a second for the screen to adjust, just like your eyes would do. Mr. Dino, yeah, Italy and Malta is the next world update. So we've done our fuel, we have checked the SD pages, all of those look good, system status is normal. Is Malta a tricky approach, or is it just nice scenery? It's just nice scenery. There's nothing particularly tricky about Malta. Who's flying at 41,000 feet? Behind us. This chop should right itself pretty soon. Oh wow, that is orange, isn't it? That looks amazing, doesn't it? How nice does that look? Is that a road? A passageway up through between the valleys? Imagine driving that. The views must be stunning. I expect your eyes are burning. The orange is so bright. Get used to it. We have our Easter livery for a couple of weeks over the Easter period. Sean, you're now tempted to fly towards the warmth instead of home to Birmingham. Oh, yeah. Birmingham to Malta. I'd definitely do that. Plus, the winds are in your favour today. So you got a bit of a tailwind. So we are planned to land, according to the flight plan, 15:52 Zulu time. Call that slowing down and things. Call that 1600, which is 5 PM local if you're here in the UK with me. That works out really nicely for me, actually. Ben Pilot 13245. What an odd combination of numerals. But Ben Pilot, thank you so much for the follow. Cars on track. So those roads are the Pastis del Vio, and every summer you spend there driving around, and it is beautiful indeed. Never seen it in the sim, so this is a first. Well, there you go. That's one of the things I love about doing live streams and getting you guys in the community on board, is that you will that there'll always be someone in the chat that knows something about the area far more than I do, so we can all learn stuff. But that is really neat. And some of those, Ace Airstream says as well, those mountain passes are some of the star features in the Giro d'Italia cycle race, Italy's version of the Tour de France, which is grueling stuff. Yes, as a someone who does enjoy cycling, or used to before child rearing took over, I do get a lot of joy out of cycling up, then sitting on the top and enjoying a nice view somewhere. Living around Sheffield in the UK, there's a lot of hills to enjoy. Cars on track indeed is beautiful. Car, bike, motorbike, or even for a walk. I think a walk would be quite nice, to be honest. And that's it, Alps behind us, and loving the details you've got down here. I mean, I can zoom in, and they're doing a much better job than they used to. Look at that, you can zoom in, and I bet if you knew this area particularly well, you'd be able to recognise it. I mean, I don't, so I've just zoomed in on a random landscape down there, but it's neat, isn't it? Very neat. Right, we're past the Alps now, so we're just going to go and clear that fixed page out. Poco the Cat, thank you for the follow. And SamG6677 as well. Good to have you on board today. Now, is something not loading correctly, or does Italy not have many airports after passing the Alps? But look at that. Surely we don't end there. Swales, how do you find the takeoff CG for the calculator? You don't need it. Oh, sorry, you do. You need forward or you need forward or normal, don't you? It is in your fuel prediction page, just there. This is only shown though, however, after you've started the engines. Normally, what would happen in the real world is you get a load sheet. Well, that doesn't happen here in the sim. But you can pretty much guess that the model that the fly-by-wire uses at the moment always has it forward. It makes very, very little difference, even in the real world. But just to show you, so we did our takeoff calc with it forward. If I now put it to standard, watch, I bet none of these values change. The maximum takeaway may change a little bit. I don't even think that changed, did it? It's only under very certain conditions that it makes a difference. Oh, Nick, is it the... yeah, okay, I'm with you. For some reason, I thought we were flying down the arm of Italy. We're not. I didn't realise. I thought we were flying over land. Italy's going to be to the west of us. I don't know why I thought we were flying all the way down Italy today. I guess we meet back up with it down at the bottom. But that would make sense. Thanks, Nick. That's because I cut in front of you on the ground back in Basel, isn't it? Is it Venice that we're about to pass? Yeah. So Venice is down here. I don't know if we can have a quick look. There it is. And Jonathan's just confirmed it. Yeah, we're headed out of the Adriatic, so that indeed would be why. Xperia, when will the weather radar feature be available? Not until Azobo open up the weather coding. Mr. Dino 2000, you wonder which airports they're going to handcraft for the world update in... well, they never pick the most obvious ones, do they? And I would imagine they do that for a reason, so that third-party developers can still sell their mods. Hey, Drini, have you not seen our Easter livery? Oh, hang on. It's Easter. It's our Easter livery for the next couple of weeks. I love flying this. Don't think I'm going to get a chance to do the Easter Island run this year though, sadly. Things have changed a lot in the last year. Work and lockdown wise. But she is a beaut. So I am getting some en route weathers as well, just whilst you're enjoying the view here. As I say, we've just passed over Venice. So we'll go ahead and see what's happening in Rome. And we'll also have a look a little bit further down Italy at another EasyJet base, which is Lima, India, Bravo, Romeo. I don't know if it's an actual base, but it's certainly one of their airports that they fly into quite a bit. So we'll send that off, see what happens. Nick, how did I get on with Gatwick in the... I still couldn't get it. So I ended up... I will get it, but I just need to have a bit of a play. Jeff, so much orange. Well, you've come to the right airline if you like orange, right? Company message. Let's see what's happening. I mean, we can pretty much guess. The weather is beautiful. So all of these airports I expect to be wide open. Rome, Cav OK, light winds. Heraklion where we're landing, 330 at 13. We might have filled that a bit coming in. Few clouds, 1,800 feet, scattered 25, 16 degrees. That's not actually as warm as I would have thought. Although I suppose it's cooling down now there, isn't it? As the sun's dropping. Athens, also 16 degrees. Wind 06014. What's their runway configuration? 03, isn't it? So, that's okay. And in Brindisi, oh, that's quite strong actually. Northerly winds. Cav OK. 15 knots. Stevie Stories, yeah, EasterJet. EasterJet. So our fuel is good. The weather around us is all good. We've got a nice tailwind pushing us down over the Adriatic. We've got 858 miles to go. Flight time, I reckon, is around another 2 hours. Drini, you're going to... will I be flying the 330 soon? I want to. I do want to have a play with that and do a nice stream with that because I think it's a really nice long haul option. I mean, what other option is there if you're an Airbus fan? Christian, you hope there's a cruise ship in the port of Crete. We'll have to see when we get there. Cash Aviation as well on Twitch. Thank you so much for the follow a little while ago. If you are enjoying this live stream, please guys, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help the channel and helps other people to find the channel as well. Now, while we're live currently as well, so would really appreciate that. For those of you that have done it already, thank you so much. Loving the reflection there that we can see. I've just had a message from my cabin crew. They were going to be going out shopping a little bit earlier on. They have now decided to walk and scooter there. For anyone that knows me knows we've got triplet girls who are 3 and our eldest who's 7, and they're walking to the shops. Oh wow, my wife is a glutton for punishment. What is she doing to herself? Well, the kids look happy. I'm not so sure about my wife. Flying Firefighters, lovely livery. We'll be finishing your ATPL this year. Excellent. And trying your luck with EasyJet. So far, no one could give me a satisfactory explanation on how to decide the amount of gain used on the weather radar. I think that is because it's pilot preference, isn't it? There's no strict rule on that. It depends on a number of factors as well. If you've got amazing weather like we've got today, VMC, you're going to be quite happy. If you're departing out of Geneva or somewhere and the weather's rubbish, you want to be able to see that that terrain clearly. Nick, you think she's trying to knacker them out? Mate, she's not. She's just sent me a photo. She's got them in the triple pram. She said the other day, in fact, we said we were going to sell it because they can't fit in that thing anymore. Or if they do, it's pushing 30 kilograms. And as I said earlier, there's a lot of hills around here. Drini, you just searched for the first EasyJet flight and it was 18th of March 2013. Are you sure? I thought it was a lot older than that. I'll expect, are my clouds on ultra or high? They're on ultra. Not that there's many clouds to speak of today, which is nice. Shaughnessy, triplets, holy heck, yeah. That's what you get for saying. Let's have one more. Red Guard, 113-year-old hobbit at home. That's just about right for me. Well, that's it. This is the first day of the school holidays. The school holidays. Ugh. Mr. Dino, is A-car still usable, or is it not often used by ATC pilots? Oh yeah, absolutely it's still usable. Shaughnessy, you're glad your lad's 28 and out working. I got a good 7 years to go. No, I haven't. 20 years to go before they're like that. So EasyJet's about 20. It was about 95, wasn't it? Yeah, 95 that EasyJet came to fruition with Stelios and a single jet. There was the amazing TV series, wasn't there? What was it called? Was it Airline? Yeah, that's it, Mark. I think it was. It was Airline, wasn't it? And then there was a second one, wasn't there? EasyJet in the cockpit. Which offered some great insight to everyone. Enjoyed that series. Hey Thomas, thanks for the sub. I'm a little bit gutted we're not flying a little closer down the Adriatic coast, seeing Croatia and such, because there's some gorgeous scenery there. Jonathan says EasyJet has had a very good safety record as well. Absolutely. I can't think of anything serious that's ever happened. Christian, EasyJet Switzerland is one of the oldest companies, 1988. Really? I always thought EasyJet UK was the first one. Mr. Dino, right at the very start, they did have a couple of 737s, yeah. I've just realised my McDo's running out of power, so I need to charge the portable charger, and then because I don't have a plug socket or certainly a wire long enough to reach from my desk to the nearest to where the nearest plug socket would be. Oh, Captain George, First Officer George needs me. I will be back in just 1 second. Oh, back with you. We've given First Officer George some much needed water. I thought about getting some myself. I'm going to have to go back for a cup of tea in a minute. Flying without any refreshment is no good.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
So Lilo25, you've just bought Sim Smart. Oh, thanks so much. Hope you're enjoying it. It's it says thanks for all the hard work done on the app. It's so realistic. Well, it's based on the real thing, so we're trying to make it as realistic as possible, getting all this working. Spotting, did they also have a 757 at one point? I don't know. They didn't own it. They kind of sublet it or leased it from another company to operate EasyJet routes, but I don't think they owned the 757. No. And Christian, EasyJet PLC was founded in '95. Yeah, that sounds about right. Captain 79, hello. Hope you are. Hope you're well. Mark, you've soon seen the light and switched to Airbus. Good choice. Mr. Dino, they have some A321 Neos. You didn't know that either. Oh yeah, they got the 319s, 320s, 320 Neos, 321s, 321 Neos as well. Sean, the air stewardess isn't doing her job. No, they've disappeared out instead. Interactive Studio, is this the usual livery? No, let me show you. We've got our Easter livery today and for the next couple of weeks. So here you go, a full tour of our Easter livery. 747 down, SimSmart is available now. Yeah, it's released at simsmart.uk for just £4.75. Not very much at all. Despite it being a lot of hard work, we just didn't want people to not be able to enjoy the product. Nick, every streamer you've seen has not had a bad word about SimStrat. That's great to hear. You've not just been watching me, have you? Trini says that I wouldn't fly a 757 anyway. Well, funnily enough, the 757 is probably one of the only Boeing aircraft I actually liked flying in a simulator. Don't know why. I just did. I enjoyed the 757. But if anyone wants a demonstration on SimSmart whilst we are here on this long flight, then feel free to can easily to give me some parameters to pop in, airport, weight, etc. Show you how that works. 747 down, you thought it would be 5 times that price? Oh god, no. Absolutely not. So then we're about 50 minutes into the flight. Let's just check how the fuel's doing at Utame. Let's see. 50 minutes into our flight, Utame. We're about 3 minutes early, actually. We should have about 6 tons of fuel. Or 6.1 tons of fuel. We're looking good. We're looking very good, actually. German Flight Sim, you receive an error message when you use SimSmart. It's only working half. You never get limitations and engine out stuff. You guess it's because of an error. Okay, so the engine out information is being populated bit by bit. That is a lot of hard work, and to put all of the engine out procedures coming in for everyone, bear in mind we're talking 500 airports. Then at the moment we just have that for the major airports, and we're adding more and more as we can. So if you're flying from a major airport, you're probably going to have that information already available to you. So if we just reset that, so for instance, Manchester should give you in the UK should give you engine out stuff. Oh, is automatic METAR not working? Oh well, never mind. Entering it in manually is more realistic anyway. We need to obviously set a QNH. Why am I stuck in an endless loop? Oh, that's annoying. Has anyone had this bug before? Yes, I know it's required, but you're not going to let me enter it. Alright. Right. I'm just going to have to quickly go to the task manager and shut that down. That's I've not seen that before. Has anyone else had that? I'm now trying to find SimSmart in the task manager to sort that out. No, escape's not working either, Christian. Well, this is different. Right, task manager can get rid of it instead. There we go. Alright, German Flight Simmer. Right, so you click at the airport code and it takes a long time. You then get object reference not set to it. Right. Are you allowing SimSmart through your various firewalls and things? Because it does have to connect to the server in order to download the data. If you're not allowing it to get through to the server, then obviously it's not going to be able to pull in information for you. Mr. Dino, you're sad that your home time of Lima India Mike Golf can't accept the 320 Neo because the runway is 70 meters too short. SimSmart call that as well. Did it? That's interesting. What was that? What was that runway? Let's have a look. Ah, right, okay, yeah. So I'm presuming they're obviously the same length. There are some airports, I'm almost sure, will accept the Neo at 1,400 meters, which is strange. Let's manage to get the METAR for it though. So if we put a light takeoff weight in here, then will it allow you to take off on this runway? Let's see. Oh no. I should have listened to you, Mr. Dino. SimSmart knows best. But just going back to what I was saying, if you pop in... Yes, I know I need to enter a value for the QNH. Go away. If we just pop in some information here. Oh. So winds 23015. We'll tell it's 15 degrees. Anti-ice off. Takeoff weight 75 tons. Forward. Config 1 on. And calculate that. Really? Oh, I suppose we are heavy. Hang on. Can we do flaps 2? Yeah, flaps 2 will allow it. So yeah, the bigger airports will give you some standard engine out procedures there. So there you are. Need to investigate that bug though. Not seen that before. Kiluminati35 on Twitch, thanks for the follow. Here we have a quick look at the arrival coming in as well. Quite a nice arrival. So we're coming in on the Apollo 1 Alpha arrival, which has us flying a nice 12-mile DME arc to Gonzo. From Gonzo we then fly the RNAV approach. It is RNAV, isn't it? Yeah, RNAV approach from Gonzo and straight in. Approach path's a little bit steeper than normal as well, 3.4. Runway visual range 2,400 meters. Uh, 747 Dan, when the Android SimSmart version is released, will it be free to those who've got the PC one? We honestly do not know. We need to look into that, how it would be linked up, and what Google Play have to say about that as well. So I can't give you any more information on that at the moment. If not, then it will again just be a small amount. What we may look at doing instead is trying to look at a web browser version, because then of course you can use it on your smartphone, tablet, etc. And it doesn't matter if you're on on Android or iOS then, does it? Sterling's Playhouse, hello to you. So if anyone hasn't got SimSmart and is contemplating getting SimSmart and just wants to see or ask any questions about it, or wants to see it working in action for a particular flight you might want to do, then go ahead, let me know, and we'll do it for you live here on stream. Sterling's Playhouse, ooh, an orange wing. You think the wing being orange is bad? Hang on. Welcome to the world of orange. I love how, as we transgress from one side of the engine to the other, that engine noise stops. So there you can just see the coast of Italy in the distance, the eastern coast of Italy. Expats, is this the new flypad? Oh, SimSmart. No, this is a completely separate program. It has absolutely no connection with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Does anyone know what time the sun sets in Crete today? 779, could I try Echo Golf Kilo Romeo? Yes, of course I can. It's also very important when you're switching airports or runways to hit the reset button. Otherwise you can get some erratic data. So where we're going from, 747 Dan, I also need to know what parameters, takeoff weight, etc., what runway you'd like. But Echo Golf Kilo Romeo, where is that? Red Hill. Which runway? Not the helicopters. that wouldn't work. Gear down unlocked. Bought the Sim Smart. It's a fabulous add-on. Fantastic. Thank you so much. So if sunsets at 7:50, is that Zulu time? Or is that local time? Um, 747 Dan, I'm not going to be able to get you out on 26 left. Its runway is 897 meters long. You have got no chance. Even if you turn it round and go downhill. It's too small for a A320. Oh, Nick, have you got an Alexa? Oh, I bet she keeps you company. Does she do all your shopping for you as well? Lotomat 1650 Zulu, thank you. Ooh! Well, that's interesting, because what time are we due in? Oh, 1650 Zulu, right, we're due in at 1550 Zulu, about an hour before that. We're also landing, and we're going to be coming in, the sun's going to be in our eyes. So, there's a bit of a threat. 747 Dan, yeah, it was worth a try. Nope. Not happening. Alexa, yeah, but stop saying her name. I could be so naughty right now. Hey Alexa, play Michael Jackson's Thriller. And for all you Android folk out there, hey Google, play Michael Jackson's Thriller. How many people have I just annoyed? I have the power. You're quite lucky, Nick. You're quite lucky. I nearly added some inappropriate items to your shopping cart. Oh, Bernard, have you got voice recognition on it? Oh, fair enough. Oh, anyone can ask our Google to say anything. It can't ask for shopping carts and, you know, for events in the diary or to make phone calls. That requires voice recognition. Oh, all you're listening to is on headphones. Fair enough. Leroy is a nice livery indeed, yeah. Jonathan, that's the Gorgono National Park there on the peninsula. Looks nice, doesn't it? Sim is doing a good job.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase from our selection of fresh food available today. Full details can be found in your in-flight brochure. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
So I'm going to start taking a look at our approach and setting the box up for that, and then we'll be ready to do an arrival brief. 747 down, what's the shortest takeoff distance available for the 320? Work on around 1500 metres. John Loves Aviation says, you're from India, you can't buy the calculator sadly. In fact, you can't buy anything really for the flight sim. That is very sad. I don't really understand why, but that is unfortunate. Leroy, you've just passed us on the way to Amsterdam, really? Mark, having a 10-year-old boy, your Alexa is just been asked to play fart noises. Well, my boy's 7. He's not discovered that function just yet. Ollie, you're listening to the stream at a library whilst you're studying, so it would be a bad idea to not use headphones. Oh, absolutely it would. How can you study while listening to the stream? I mean, that's multitasking. That's clever. For a man. X-Plats, how do we get the PA system? We use self-loading cargo for that. Dr. Magic, you popped out to the loo when on a Zoom call a while back, and many inappropriate items found their way onto Alexa's shopping list while you were out of the room. That's brilliant. Oh wow, look at that view. The engine was hiding so much beauty. Doesn't that look gorgeous? Lago di Brano is shining in the sun. That whole peninsula is stunning. Just wait until we have the next sim update. Really nice. Curtis, you wish the new self-loading cargo update would release. It's been planned for years now, hasn't it? Not really sure when, if, how it'll ever come. I keep hearing things, rumours, but have to wait and see. So I just want to nip into the flight deck and check out that navigation display and see what the oh, this mouse cursor bug, come back. I hope that is one of the bugs that they're going to fix next. Just want to see what this arrival looks like. Yeah, so that looks pretty close to what I want, to be honest with you. In fact, that looks very close to what I want. So we've got Ipalo, we've then got the 12-mile DME arc, which brings us to Gonzo, and then from Gonzo we've got 402, 401, 400, and then runway 27. Right guys, I shall be back in just one moment. So Nick, as far as you know, Microsoft have finally found what causes the mouse bug and are working on a fix. They apparently couldn't replicate it before. Really? I see it at least 2-3 times a flight. So guys, what I am going to do, I am going to nip out to the galley, grab a drink. Whilst I'm there, I'm also going to just go through the arrival procedure and get everything set up. And then when I come back, we're going to look at... We'll do an arrival brief with you guys, talk about how I'm going to fly the arrival, what I expect, what the threats are going to be, what's going to happen in case of a go-around, that kind of thing. So yeah, please do hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Really do appreciate that. And I can also see whilst we've been live as well, so many of you, quite a few of you, have been grabbing hold of the SimSmart calculator since it's been released. So if you want the website for that, that's available from simsmart.uk. There is a link to this as well in the video description if you want to go ahead and grab that. I'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. As I say, I'm just going to go and grab the grab a cup of tea and set up the box for the arrival. And then when I get back, we will do an arrival brief, and then we've got a good hour or so to chill out before we look forward to what should hopefully be a nice, lovely arrival into Heraklion, Crete. Back with you in a few minutes, guys. Okay, guys, back with you. Yeah, over Brindisi now, Jonathan. Giving us a guided tour, I see, whilst I was grabbing a drink. Hey, Barry Bartson, good to have you on board. Gonna have a quick look down there and see. There it is. Brindisi as well was one of the airports that we quickly checked out with regards to our weather. And as we can see, Cav OK. Very nice. I was trying to find the airport actually. Down there somewhere. It's quite a nice approach into Brindisi over the. There's a little port that you fly over. Right, so we should be on the ground in about. I'm just trying to work this out. We should be on the ground, according to this, in about an hour's time. Around about an hour's time, I think. No, hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, about an hour and 10 minutes time we should be there. So let's have a look at the approach and how we're going to handle our arrival into Heraklion. An RNAV approach as well for us today. Let's bring up the charts. And also get the McDo interview so you guys can see how we plan to fly this. Okay, so we are going to be coming in on the Apollo, what is it, the 1 Alpha arrival, and we're planning to land on runway 27. Now it's the RNAV approach for runway 27 today. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet, and for the RNAV approach our platform altitude is 2,000. Minimum safe altitude as we come in is, as you can see, rather high to the south. In fact, it's rather high full stop. We have the biggest threat of terrain to the south and also straight in front of us. If we're on final approach, you can see that we've got obviously terrain out of the left-hand side of the window and then straight ahead of us should we need a go around, but we'll brief that separately in a moment. So yeah, minimum safe altitude as we're coming in is 9,200 feet, and that obviously gets higher in this little sector. We absolutely want to avoid that area. Weather should be good coming in, so it should be VMC. We should be able to see all of that. We will have the sun in our eyes as well as we're coming in, given the time of day and direction of the runway, so that's just something else to bring to our attention. And for this particular approach, runway visual range needs to be above 2,400 meters, which of course it according to the METAR it will be. And the minimum set altitude is going to be 830. Airport elevation is 82, and our missed approach is 3,000 feet. So let's talk about how we're going to get down here safely. So starting our descent around 120 miles away from Heraklion VOR, which I've now got in the RadNav page. My plan is to be 6,000 feet by this waypoint just here, which is there, November. So the plan is to be 6,000 feet by here, 250 knots. As soon as we leave this, we can start to head down to 3,000 feet and also slowing down to green dot by Gonzo. By Gonzo then, I want to get flaps 1 out as we leave Gonzo. We'll be at 3,000 feet by this point, so just flaps 1 as we fly that 6 miles to 402. As we get to 402, or maybe even before it, we want to get flaps 2 out. Flaps 3 then as we fly this final sector to 401, and I want to be flaps 3 and landing gear down by 401 as we are getting down to 2,000 feet. And this is quite important. This is what we forgot last time we did one of these stabilized approaches. So at 402 we're going to be 3,000 feet. Here we're going to have flaps 2 out and we're going to get down to 2,300 feet by 401. and then we can lose 300 feet more to get down to 2,000 feet, fully stabilised with flaps 3, landing gear down, and then we've got 5.2 miles for the final approach path, and it's a 3.4 glide path angle, so a little steeper than normal as well. Let's have a look at what happens on the ground. Runway 27 is, it's not a short runway to be honest, so getting off at Charlie should be fine. Getting off at Charlie and then backtracking our way through, we can park obviously any of the available stands at the terminal. If anything goes wrong, I'm going to put in information on the navigation display, then you'll be able to see how the missed approach is going to work. So the missed approach is a right turn at a maximum speed of 185 knots. If we go to the performance page here, we'll just have a look. 185 knots means that we're probably going to be doing this in flaps 1. So an immediate turn to IR 700 and then back to Gonzo. We can either enter the hold there or just go for another try straight in if there's no traffic in the way. But I'm going to go in and put these fixes in the flight plan page, so if we need to go around, we've got something to work at, we've got something to see visually. So I want IR 700, there it is, and I also want Gonzo as well. Now Gonzo will already show because it's in our main flight plan, but if we complete the approach and then overfly the airport, our flight plan will disappear because our flight plan will presume that we've landed. Of course that will not be the case. So now we should have on the navigation display, if I go into map mode and just scroll through the flight plan, there we go, there's IR 700, so we would go around, fly towards this waypoint, back towards Gonzo, and then we can come in for another go. Or enter the hold at Gonzo while we set up the FMGC for another approach. Okay, hopefully that all makes sense. All we have to do then is execute it. Swales, can I show the takeoff CFG? Absolutely, it is in the fuel prediction page, and CFG is shown just here. Note this only shows after your engines have started. So as we leave Italy, still over the Adriatic, we're now starting to come in and see some of the Greek Isles. In our beautiful Easter orange livery. Yeah, Italy is well behind us now. And I do think on an approach like this, it's worth having perhaps scribbled down in front of you the different altitudes that you're getting down to. So we've obviously got 3,000, as I say, at Gonzo. After we leave 402, we're getting down to 2,300 feet, and then finally 2,000 feet. So I hope everyone is having a wonderful Monday afternoon. We've been live now for around 2 hours 15 minutes, and we've got probably about a good hour or so to go. A nice long Monday afternoon stream. Jonathan, that's the island of Corfu. Yeah, we landed there. In fact, was that our last destination? It might have been, actually, you know. May have been our last destination, Corfu. Hardly any clouds at all this flight. It's been absolutely beautiful. You know, I've just gone and got myself a nice cup of tea. I'm now hungry. And tea is going to be at least a good couple of hours away, if not more. I should have brought a chocolate bar. Do you know what would be really nice? And I don't know if this is an option. If on the Navigraph charts, an option to draw on the charts would be really neat. So I could say I want to be flaps 1 leaving here, flaps 2 leaving here, flaps 3 as we get there, etc. So I kind of know what I want to be doing where, which is nice. Swales, what's the difference between toga and flex and how you change it on the plane? So Swales, I can't show you that now because we're airborne. But if you go back and watch the start and how we set up the box, the McDo, right at the start of the flight, you'll see where we enter the flex. Tom, hello! The flight has been faultless so far. Well, aside from a stray landing gear being up on the ground and the strobe light's been turned off. I think it's been fine. Oh, and a pack warning. But in truth, it's been dreadful. No, it hasn't. It's been nice. And we've seen some stunning scenery as well on the way down. So, looking forward to getting into Crete in about an hour. Tim says, yeah, that would be awesome if you were able to draw on the charts. It really would, wouldn't it? Come on, Navigraph, that's an easy thing to implement, surely. It might not be. I'm sat here saying it's easy. It's probably not. 355 miles to run. So what's everyone been doing whilst enjoying this flight? Hey, Boxer Steve, it has been a while since we've seen you. Hope you're well. Petrol prices in the UK are crazy. It's 167 a litre here. Oh, mate, that's nothing. That's obviously petrol. Try driving diesel. I was close to £2 a litre the other day. Mark, we may not have any landing gear left after clipping that tree. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Tommy, you're descending into the Faroe Isles with some nice scenery, but it's very cloudy. Oh, yes, yeah. Christopher, you've been working. Glad we've kept you company while working. That's what I was hoping we'd do. How do you change from toga to flex, Wells? You just don't enter anything in the flex field. Don't enter anything in, it's toga. Or, of course, even if you have entered something in the flex field, then you just make sure that when you take off, you put your thrust levers all the way to the top detent rather than to the flex detent. Mark, you've been resetting your Spotify playlist. Have you got an Alexa? Could I mess it up for you? Frank, you've been trying to get your 75 years and older COVID booster jab. It might take, if there's anything like our doctors, it'll probably take you the full length of this flight to get through. Hello? Is that an airport? Where's that? It's got to be an airport, that, hasn't it? Lima Golf Papa Zulu. No idea where that is. Oh, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Mark, you've been working as well, of course. Yeah, right. Gary Pratt, you've just got home from work. Happy Monday. Bernard, it's not the Faroe Islands. If it isn't cloudy till 200 feet. Boxer Steve 177 for Lee diesel. Well, they probably don't have to transport it as far from the north east. There's refineries up there. Christian, did I just say Lee Magaka? Possibly. Brain goes to mush after a while. Acton International Airport. Sim Travel says Acton National Airport. Is there a difference? Technically there should be. Anywhere can claim to be an international airport now, can't they, if they fly to a country outside of their national jurisdiction? Tell you what I am going to do. I'm going to just fire off another weather request. Swells, you're currently doing a flight from Manchester to Faro in Portugal. Oh, well, if you've got the latest scenery installed, it's probably going to look really nice as well when you get there. That was a bit bumpy, wasn't it? Loving that terrain down there. Can't wait till the world update does this part of Europe, southeastern Europe. Kill Illuminati 35. Hey mate, are my graphic settings in YouTube the latest that I use? Yeah, they are. So I think it was after Sim Update 7. I think it was Sim Update 7. Either way, the latest one that I've got on there is the one I'm using. I think this may be the best weather we've had over such a long time flying today. It's amazing. Current weather in Heraklion then. Winds 360 at 15. Ugh. Oh, well, that's annoying. That's a 15 knot crosswind. And what's it say about wind shear for Heraklion? Exercise extreme caution as seasonal strong southeasterly winds of more than 20 knots prevail over the vicinity of the airport. Oh well, we're not getting those. We've got northerly winds today. Wind direction varies 1519 at beginning of 27 and from 1720 south winds of their initial appearance are gusty. Right, well, hopefully we shouldn't have too much to worry about there, just a 15 knot crosswind. Could bring some excitement to the flight, couldn't it? Are we betting that's another airstrip just there? It seems like a random straight line in the middle of the scenery. Big thank you to everyone who has liked the stream so far. I've just realised that was turned on. My apologies if that has been turned on for the past goodness knows how long. Get rid of that little graphic. If we just jump into the flight deck then, let's see where we're planning the top of descent. Because it's already programmed in. And, oh, look at that! How close are they? VNAV and my personally calculated top of descent. I tell you what we need to enter in, I need to enter in the winds, because we've also got a tailwind, so that is going to make a difference. So, let's go ahead and enter those in. See if it moves. That top of descent line. I don't think it will. unless these are now taken into account. So we need to grab the winds from our operational flight plan. So the descent winds are the ones we want. 28963 at 390. 293 61 350 and 289 again 59 at 310. It's going to be so cool when the FlyByWire team have got the ability to just download these from SimBrief. It is coming as well, that. I have seen a screenshot of that in action. There, so we've now got those entered. So we're probably still going to go with our own top of descent, just because of the tailwind. Until then, we can enjoy a nice view of Greece as we overfly it. Don't realise how big Greece actually is, do you? You think about obviously all the islands that it encompasses, but the actual mainland Greece is quite huge. Box to see if you found it on SimAware. We are there then. Good to know. A little bit of light chop as well. It's a fair bit of terrain down there as well, isn't there? Which I guess don't really think of too much. The approach into Athens is gorgeous from both sides. And Microsoft Flight Simulator does it very well too. Oh, my tablet is running out of juice. I best just quickly plug that in, otherwise I'll be on the approach and something bad will happen. Oh, do you know, for a moment I thought then I'd just pulled out the plug that powers the internet to the Flight Sim PC. If you can still hear me, I didn't, and we're okay. Boxer Steve, I've never upgraded the GPU, that's always been the same, but we now do have 32 gig of RAM, yeah. If you guys haven't seen this yet either, we are sporting our Easter livery. How low is that sun getting in the sky? One thing to have a look at. We did brief this as well for our arrival, because landing on 27 we're going to have that sun right in our R line as we come in. Boxer Steve, OBS would be screaming at me if I unplugged the network cable. Yes, thankfully it's not, and you're all still there. You can just see in that top right hand corner those wings bouncing around with the flex. And oh, there's a little bit more. I bet actually if we jump inside, we'll perhaps be able to see it a little bit better.
In just a few moments, we'll commence our in-flight service, offering you the chance to purchase a selection of hot beverages, together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in pounds, euros, most major currencies, and debit or credit cards. The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
Boxer Steve, indeed, Ethernet cables do require you to push a clip down to be able to pull them out. However, it was the plug socket the Ethernet cable was plugged into that I nearly removed. India Virtual, my full Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 settings, the graphics settings are shared in a video on the channel, so you can go ahead and check that out. In terms of settings for things like traffic and that, I don't have any static aircraft turned on. I don't have live traffic turned on just because I fly on VATSIM all the time, so obviously you don't want those things conflicting. And as for road traffic, gate traffic and ground crew personnel, I have them set to only to about 30%. And I find that works. That works well, that's enough. Oh, the penny's dropped, Boxer Steve. It's a power line. Yeah, because the box is upstairs somewhere. It works really well actually. The setup down here, we get about 50 megabytes a second, which is enough. That looks like a long runway down there, doesn't it? Where's that? Gorgeous view, isn't it? Now that looks really weird with the heat blur. The runway's doing a little dance. A few early evening cumulus clouds creeping in. Thankfully, according to the weather we've had, we should be avoiding those. There's always a chance going down into Greece that you can get some cumulus congests or towering cumulus. But that last METAR report we got, don't seem to be getting any of those, so having said that, there were some clouds reported. What was that last METAR we got? About 10-15 minutes ago. Yeah, so a few clouds, 1,800, scattered 2,500. But that wind, 15 knot crosswind, true crosswind as well, 90 degrees. Alcobi, hey, do I use AVO altitude? No, I'm on VATSIM. So, anyone who's well versed in the knowledge of Greek geography, what is that road down there? Is that a road I'm looking at? It has to be, surely. Winding its way up through the terrain. It looks like a huge road, whatever it is. I wondered if it was a strangely discoloured river, but it's not. You can see a river almost next to it. Tell you what, there's a small part of me that is quite happy there's no air traffic control online for us today. Not because I don't like air traffic control, I absolutely love it and it really adds to the immersion. But when your call sign is Top Swiss 86 Quebec Kilo, I'm quite happy not to have had to call that out several times. Real world call sign, real world flight, not one I've made up. Let's face it, if I was going to make one up, it would be a damn sight lot easier than that to pronounce. Swales, what is RNAV? So it stands for Area Navigation. It's just another kind of... it basically uses GPS waypoints to create an approach rather than an ILS radio beam, which is a physical, an actual beam projected out from the runway that the aircraft can lock onto for landing. So this uses just waypoints in space. Tom, you do believe it is a river? It looks like it on Google Maps. Oh, well, it could be. I said it just looked like a strange colour compared to the river that was next to it, so maybe it's a dirty river. In which case, kudos to Azobo for nailing the colour dead on. Look at the valley down there. Just down here. That's quite neat as well, isn't it? How long have we got till our top of descent then? Let's see. Not far at all now. And Athens is just over there to our left. Elgav. So that's it, we're now flying over the Greek Isles. Top of descent, about 35 miles away. So for those of you that may just be coming in a little bit late, let's give you the full briefing on our arrival. We're coming in on the Apollo 1 Alpha. We're going to be 6,000 feet here, 250 knots, then getting down to 3,000 feet, slowing down to green dot. At Gonzo, we want to be flaps 1 leaving Gonzo, 3,000 feet here. Flaps 2 leaving 402, and then getting down to 2,300 feet, flaps 3 at 401, landing gear down to 2,000 feet, and then at IR 400 we pull a 3.4 degree glide path angle. By 5 miles out, the weather, unless the clouds are in the wrong place, we should be able to see the runway. Hey Ryan, what livery are we on? We're on our special Easter livery. Let me just show that to you. Here it is. Big thanks to Christian for creating this last year. Better than Condors, right? So another final weather request, we'll get that information in and we're going to start our descent in around 10 miles or so. Hey Danny London, how you doing, mate? It's a gorgeous livery for Easter. This will be around for the next couple of weeks. So that wind then is 350 at 15, so still a good crosswind. QNH is 1017, fuel cloud 1,800 feet. Let's get all that information in, and then we are going to head down.
Ladies and gentlemen, flight deck once again, you will be delighted to hear that we will shortly be starting our descent into our destination, at which point the cabin crew will start preparing for our arrival. If you could please make sure that all the aisles are clear and the cabin crew are able to make their way around the aircraft without any luggage in the aisles, that would be most appreciated. A reminder for our students and pilot members that free drinks are still available from the cabin crew until the sequence is locked. Please note, however, that the toilets will shortly go out of use. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start that descent. We're going all the way down to 6,000 feet. Thrust idle, open descent, and I'll also put this as we're going down to the transition altitude. 6,000 feet, 1017 is the local QNH. And I'm going to put that in managed descent as well now. So max speed and descent. That should probably just bring us back, and we'll continue to descend at around 1,000 feet per minute until we meet up with the profile. And according to our flight computer, we should be able to hit all of our constraints as well. So let's see how it does, shall we? Garrison, do RMP approaches and RNAV approaches work correctly? Yes, they do, but you can't do an you can't do the final. You can't put your aircraft into final approach mode using the approach button. So you have to use nav FPA. To be honest, with this approach anyway, you would have to use nav FPA. Because it's just, it's only got LNAV minimums. Tell you what I am also going to do. I'm going to just nip to the fix info page. And I'm just going to pop in there the oh, actually we've already got India Romeo November in. Have we got India Romeo November in there? Yes, we do. But I'm just going to pop another one in there. In fact, I can clear that radius out now. I want to pop in a 25-mile radius around that. So for our minimum safe altitudes. So we know where that's valid from. And we want to stay north of this line, really. That's where the terrain starts to become higher than we would be. So we'll look to remain north of that line. If I zoom in, that yeah, north of this line, south of that line, anywhere in this sector here is not good. We want to make sure we fly and end up nowhere near that. On the progress page as well, I'm going to add into this Ipalo. Just so I can check how we're doing with the distance. We're currently 70 miles away from Ipalo. At Ipalo, we want to be at around 15,000 feet at Ipalo. Bernard VNAV has captured the profile perfectly, you see. Yeah, it's holding us quite nicely there to make sure that we hit the constraints that we've entered. We need to slow down as well though, remember. That's where it may throw itself off a little bit. Swells, am I controlling how fast we're descending or is RNAV? No, VNAV. VNAV is controlling how fast we're descending. Keeping us on profile. Trying to keep the little green yo-yo in the centre.
Ladies and gentlemen, take full advantage of your tax-free allowances today and make some amazing savings with our boutique range. In your in-flight brochure, you'll find details of our award-winning selection of gifts, most with massive discounts, some of which are exclusive to you as an EasyJet customer. Make the most of your opportunity to shop and save from the comfort of your seat. If you'd like to see any products, have any questions, or would like to make great savings, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly.
So, a while back I went to make myself a nice cup of hot tea, and now I find myself having to absolutely neck it before we get to the exciting part of the approach. I don't like cold tea, and I can't be drinking tea when we're in the final stages of this. Ravil, you have just got back from working out and we're still flying. Well, yeah, it was a 2.5 hour flight. We've got probably about 30 minutes to go, I reckon. And we're in the descent now. So Swells, you've got over an hour left of your flight, so while you fly you're going to watch the VNAV tutorial after this stream to try and learn it. Watched it before, just didn't try and learn it and seeing what it was. I mean, the more you do something, it's like everything, the more you do something the better you get at it, really. The main thing is monitoring how the aircraft is flying. So recall I said I wanted to be about 15,000 feet at Ipalo. Well, that means I've got about 12,000 feet to lose at the moment. So I want to be about 35 miles away, and I'm 43 miles away from Ipalo, which is good because that I've got about 10 miles or so to play with. Well, in that time I can get slowed down to green dot because we're to keep us on profile. We're doing currently at the minute around 303, 304 knots. And I've got to get us down once we're past 10,000 feet to 250 knots, of course. What on earth's going on there? 99 minutes and 59 seconds. I pressed that when we started running the when we started running the engines. Clearly, I didn't start the timer for the pushback. No matter. Are we still going to hit these constraints? It's looking good. Check that flight plan. Yeah, there's no amber boxes, amber asterisks. I tell you what, I think FlyByWire team have been very busy. It's looking really good at the moment. Now, to keep us on that profile though, we're right at the top of the upper magenta gate to keep us on there. Tom, welcome to the Captain's Club, Tom. Thank you so much for your support of the channel. Hope you've enjoyed the flight with us today. It's just getting to the exciting bit as well. So Tom, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. If you're on our Discord server as well, make sure you get yourself into the VIP lounge as well. And Ravel, thank you for subscribing. So it's just getting to the top of that magenta gate. So what I can do to help the aircraft keep it on a profile, so we can just deploy a little bit of some speed brake. Boxer Steve, the overlay at the top is talking about ground speed, not airspeed. So just deploying a little bit of speed brake there to help keep our aircraft on profile, because it's doing a really nice job. And I would say actually 10,000 feet to go, 30 miles till we get to where I wanted to be at 6,000 feet. That is absolutely bang on. Now I do have to pull speed and get us down to 250 knots soon though. That means we may get just ahead of the profile a little bit. Some speed brakes will definitely come in handy just there. Ryan, this is the experimental version. So we want it to be 250 knots, 6,000 feet here. It's looking really good actually. This is probably the best I've seen it. And I updated the experimental version right before this flight, so if it continues to work like this, make sure you go ahead and grab that. Going to be interesting though when we get close to 10,000 feet and have to slow down, as we're probably going to get above the profile a little bit. We're going to use our spoilers to help. Yeah, you can just see it's trying to chase. Just trying to chase a little bit. We're a couple hundred feet above that profile right now. BB981, hi mate. Maximum descent rate before the passengers start to feel uncomfortable. You can do 5,000, 6,000 feet per minute as long as it's not instant. They would be fine. Right, now you can just see that the aircraft is starting to slow down as we come to 10,000 feet. Well, to keep me on the profile, a little bit of speed brakes. And that's it. Gear down unlocked. Update from DevTech Experimental. Is there anything you need to do in terms of cameras and sim brief? No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So as we're coming up on 10,000 feet as well, I'm going to get the landing lights on. I'm also going to pull speed to 250 knots and activate that approach phase. There we go. So that's now activated. But because I'm on selected speed, not managed speed, then we won't slow down to green dot just yet. Carl, how do I know if I'm on the correct descent profile or not? Well, here with in the LNAV version, this little green yo-yo tells us. So at the moment we're above it, but only by a little bit. Not much at all. I've got 10 miles or so to lose 3,000 feet, and that's plenty. Once we pass here, remember, we're going to get ourselves down to 3,000 feet. And we're also going to get down to green dot as well. So I think I perhaps do want just a little bit more speed brake to make sure I hit that 6,000 feet gate. Now, because we've no air traffic control, would someone be able to get me the latest METAR from Heraklion? Code is Lima Golf India Romeo. Lima Golf India Romeo. And it's the QNH I'm after. I just need the correct QNH for an RNAV approach. So it comes 6,000 feet, and we're almost bang on cue. So now we're going to get down to 3,000 feet, and I want to slow down to green dot as well. So we've started to slow down. Speed brakes can come away. We've got enough time to do this. Heraklion traffic, top Swiss X6 Quebec Romeo, beginning our 12-mile DME arc from India Roma Alpha. 6,000 feet, descending 3,000 feet on the Apollo 1 Alpha arrival. 1017, thank you. Glad the QNH is still the same. We'll leave that as is. German Flight Sim, if you have others looking for you, you can also press B. That's no good when I'm 25 miles away from the airfield, though, because it will set the QNH at where we are. It could be different 25 miles away by the time I get there, and it has to be exact for an RNAV approach. Right, why are we not descending? I'm popping that into open descent because we need to get down. Not quite sure why that isn't headed down to 3,000. That is what we've got plumbed in there. 3,000. So, if it stops working, take action. And Heraklion traffic, top Swiss X6 Quebec Kilo. Just for traffic information, on the DME arc, currently at 200 knots. Bernard, there was a constraint, but it's... There is a constraint, but it's one we'd put in. Yeah, wouldn't want you getting in front. Nick. So it's a shame. VNAV was working really, really well. Except, oh, hang on, there's one here. Ah, now at 402, has it got an altitude above? Do you know what it has? Let me change that to not above 3,000, I want to be at 3,000. I bet that now, had we edited that sooner, that would have worked. So the problem is when you've got altitude constraints saying plus rather than exact. Now you can see that profile's coming in, look. See how that's working? So I'll tell you what, I'm going to pop that back into manage. So speed, descent, 3,000. Because I've just gone through and checked that all of these, it initially said above 2,300. I don't want to be above, I want to be at 2,300. Same here. It said above 2,000, I want to be at 2,000. So, does make a difference. So here we are now at Gonzo, 3,000, spot on. So there we go, Alt Star. And we're now at Gonzo. As we leave Gonzo, we're going to go flaps 1. I'm sorry, where are you heading towards? You should now be heading towards 402. A quick direct. Well, that's strange. It appears to be heading towards the correct waypoint, but it's got the wrong identifier up there. Anyway, let's continue with that plan. Flaps 1, speed's checked, flaps 1. And we're going to reduce speed now to 180 knots. Temperature's high enough not to need anti-ice. As we leave 402, we're going to get down to 2,300 feet, and I want flaps 2 as well. Okie TM, hi mate, good timing. Okay, speed checked, flaps 2. And we want a nice stabilized approach for this, so I'm going to pop it into manage speed, get down to 2,300 feet. Open descent. That's not a nice calm ocean down there, is it? I'm going to enjoy this crosswind landing today. A little bit of spoilerage just to make sure we hit 2,300. Yeah, we will. No problem there. Red altimeter is alive. Speed, Alt Star. It's now showing the correct identifier, so that's okay. As we leave 401, we're going to get down to 2,000 feet. And remember what I said about the sun in our eyes being a threat? Well, look at that. Flaps 3 and landing gear then. Let's go for that now and start stabilizing our approach. Flaps 3. Landing gear down. Spoilers are armed. We'll ding our cabin. Tell you what, that sun is impressive. Heraklion traffic, top space A6 Quebec Kilo, runway 27, 8 mile final approach speed. So now we're heading down to 2,000 feet. Ravel, the replay function hasn't worked properly since the last sim update, which is annoying. Speed Alt Star. 2 miles from the start of our descent, and remember it's 3.4. Okay, weather looks good enough to be able to land, so I'm happy to commit to that. We'll get flaps full in a moment. Let's get this set up for our final approach descent path of 3.4. There we go. We'll pull that shortly. Flaps full. Speeds checked. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin is secured. Auto thrust speed. Our go around altitude is 3,000, not yet set. Here we go. So now we'll set 3,000 feet. Missed approach altitude is set. Ecam memo, landing no blue. I can see the runway, but that sun is a pain. At 4 miles we should be at 1,600. So this is looking good. We've got 4.2. 4 miles, 1,000. Actually we were bang on. It should have been 1,580, and that is exactly what we had. Heraklion traffic, top space 86 Quebec, correction, 86 Quebec Kilo, 3 mile final, runway 27. Seriously, that call sign. We can see that wind. There's a chance it could increase. Just before I knock the autopilot off then, how amazing does it look? God bless Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Above.
Flight director's off, autopilot is disengaged, I have control.
Minimum.
We're now visual. Use that Pappy as a guide. God, look at the sea. Rough. Continue. Just get us back on that centre line.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
Heraklion traffic, Olympic Gate width 3,000 feet, and we have also inbound 9 miles. Expect runway 27.
Didn't like that pause. Kind of mucked up my my rudder in the flare, did that? So apologies. Right, let's vacate the runway.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls,
Heraklion
or
traffic
internet
runway
access
27 vacated.
may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers. Do take care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your EasyJet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter, or EasyJet app.
Right, and now we'll just find a stand. Company aircraft just landed as well. Nice to see. And this is a... oh dear, don't try and look around whilst steering, it doesn't work. This is freeware scenery again from FlightSim.to, and it's fantastic. So custom liveries are... well, this one was created for me by channel member Christian. And you can download hundreds, literally hundreds, from FlightSim.to. We have arrived in Heraklion before. I do remember this airport now. So we'll stop where the marks are, and then we can shut the aircraft down. There we go. Parking brake is set. External power is available. Let's before we shut those down, get the APU bleed on, and now we can get the engines turned off. 1 and 2. Seatbelt signs can come off as well. Beacon light can come off below 10%. Fuel pumps. And there we go. And Nick's with us as well. Let's just get the transponder set to standby. Fantastic. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Here we are safely. 3 hours and after 3 hours and 50 minutes, here we are safely from this real flight from Basel to Heraklion in Crete. And what a glorious landing! The simulator certainly didn't let us down, did it? Oh, hang on, what a numpty. Let's get the flaps up. Oh, where are you? Hydraulics. And we need the blue pump to sort that out.
3 miles, runway 27.
Not the blue pump. But now we should be able to get those up. Although they will come up a lot slower than normal. Can't remember if FlyByWire ever modelled that actually. I was too busy watching Nick and his wonderful landing. Also get the taxi light turned off as well. If you haven't seen it as well, there's our beautiful Easter livery that we're going to be flying for the next couple of weeks. Have I turned that taxi light off? No. There we are. So looking forward to showcasing this flight for you for the next couple of weeks. Thank you so much to everyone who has flown with us today. To those of you who have donated, contributed, and joined as channel members as well during the stream today. Thank you so much for your support. I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Hope you all had a great Monday afternoon, and can highly recommend coming into Heraklion and this scenery from FlightSim.to. It's really, really nice. So definitely adds to the immersion. Thanks so much, everyone. I look forward to seeing you very soon. Have a great Monday. Bye bye.
EC162, clear runway 27. Heraklion traffic, Olympic 828 on final runway.